Everybody ready for the conquest, brother?
Yeah.
Let me say yeah!
Jello!
Say yeah!
Jello!
Say hell yeah!
Jello!
Say hell yeah!
Jello!
We want everybody to help us
Yeah.
out and count
Everybody.
down from 10 to 9. Everybody, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
1520 Sedgwick Avenue at Hip Hop Blvd. Yeah.
They said, we'll call you when we're going to put up the sign. So the sign got put up June 8th. And guess what? We weren't called. We weren't invited. We weren't even a footnote. And that was surprising. So here I am talking about something that you all should have known.
The people who made this happen put 10 years into this.
Who actually made this thing happen? Well, I'm telling you right now. Terry Nelson, Jacob Morris, Tony Tone, Alexander Pizarro, and Al Pizarro. These are the people that actually made this thing happen. Of course, we had the help of the community boards. Of course, we had the help of the mayor signing it. But the actual start, the beginning of it, the process, the hard work, going every day to a different community board and all, that was us.
I kind of consider myself a ghostwriter of sorts for hip hop. I've been doing this for a while, doing this since 2000. Actually, in the 90s, I was doing it. We're doing it for an agency. So ultimately, this is not new stuff. But I think we had to set the record straight because too many times people bite and people take credit for things that aren't theirs.
When we put this thing together, and I say we because it was a collective effort. When we put this together, we put it together because we believe in hip hop. We believe in what we were doing. But to have it actually stolen away and everybody celebrating it and partying and not invite the people that actually made it possible, it's a disgrace.
10 years ago that I was doing what is the Hip Hop Culture Center in Harlem. It was a pop-up we were doing. We were doing this all over the country. And then ultimately it landed in Harlem and it was only supposed to be a week. Ended up being 7 years. So we obviously did a good job. And we're here today because of Hip Hop Culture Center and also because of what happened at the community board in Harlem. 2007 we were throwing parties. We were throwing parties, all kinds of hip hop parties at the center. We were throwing parties for kids, for seniors. We did something even for church with Curtis Blow. One of those parties, actually two of those parties, were for Kool Herc. I went back to my other job at the same time because I was district manager, believe it or not. So I was able to meet up with a gentleman named Jacob Morris. And Jacob Morris, I'd see around in the office, I'd see in community boards. I knew there was one thing he did really, really well, and that was name streets.
But you don't know how, boy.
You don't know how, boy.
Or you would have been singing rhymes that people can understand.
Saying that people can understand.
But you don't know how, boy.
You don't know how, boy. You don't know.
So sit back and let us show you that the Cold Crust Brothers can.
You know what y'all check us out. And you can be one of our fans.
KG, put them all down on what we do. Now I write the rhymes that are best.
Oh, yeah. And I blink out at MC Cartel. What you do, yeah. I snatch all the girls. I sniff all the blow. And we're chillin'. Yeah.
Our work is never done.
Our work is never done.
DJ Kool Herc, I'm sure you know who he is, and if you don't, he's one of the icons of hip hop. He also helped give birth to hip hop in this building. In 1973, he took over the rec room and threw a party for his sister Cindy. He took the two turntables and put them together and made that sweet spot twice as long, and the rest is history.
My name is Al Pizarro. I have about 15 platinum plaques, about 20 gold plaques from different artists from all over the country. Tupac, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Scarface, Ghetto Boy, the list goes on and on. Jacob Morris approached me about this Hip Hop Blvd co-naming. I was kind of thinking of, what does he need me for? This guy's a historian and he could do this all on his own. However, he didn't have the signatures and he really understands hip hop the way I knew hip hop. Since I was born and raised in the Bronx and knew everybody that was in the hip hop culture. He asked me to get signatures in order to get the co-naming done for Hip Hop Boulevard. At the time, I was doing a lot of street promotion, and my son was working with me on that. And I asked him to get the signature. His name is Alexander Pizarro. So Alex got the signatures in order for us to get on first base with this. And Jacob said, okay, we got to go to the community boards. And he wanted me to go and attend. I called a friend of mine, Tony Tone from the Cocoa Brothers, and had him also get involved. So me, Tony Tone, went to the community boards and started talking to them about hip-hop. What is hip-hop? The importance of hip-hop, the importance of the Hip Hop Boulevard co-naming, the history of it, the actual facts of why it was so important for them to rename this street. That whole process took about 2 to 3 years. It's amazing that during the process, Vanessa Gibson, let's get this right, Vanessa Gibson, city councilwoman, want to make sure we get her right. So she was involved like the last step in making sure whether this actually gets approved. And she was against it. She had a mentor of hers that lived in the same neighborhood, and she wanted to rename the street for her. And we explained to her that, you know what, hip hop is a worldwide culture. It's all over the place. And I understand, you know, how you feel about your mentor, but this is a bigger issue. This is where hip hop started, where Kool Herc did his first party. Eventually, she came around. And it's funny that after getting it signed, going to the mayor's, to City Hall with Mayor Bill de Blasio, and getting it into legislation and getting everything done, that year we weren't able to put up the sign. But let's say this, Kool Herc, a lot of respect to you because you started off here. Okay, to all the pioneers that have created this culture and built up it, from the break dancers to the turntablists, to the MCs, to the record companies that believe in them, we finally got this thing done. In the Bronx, Hip Hop Boulevard, finally here.
Terry Nelson. Al Pizarro. Alexander Pizarro. Okay, hold on. And Angelo Tony Tone King. Open your proclamations, fellas. Can y'all please give them a round of applause? These are the legendary Hip Hop Boulevard 5 that made the street change name of 1520 Sedgwick Boulevard truly happen. These men made it happen. Please give them a round of applause. They are hip hop.
I want to thank everybody for coming out here today and helping us support hip hop culture. I am the original DJ Tony Tone, legendary Cold Crush Brothers, straight from the boogie down. And I was fortunate enough to be inducted in the Smithsonian last year. And now I'm getting this award right here on the courthouse steps in the Boogie Down Bronx. Hip hop, universal, love to everybody, peace.
Yo, my name's Alexander Pizarro. I'm Al Pizarro's son right here. I did the petition work, it was great. I'm just glad it got done and we can represent the borough where hip hop came from.
I want to thank Bishop Boquette, thank you so much, and Curtis Blow, and everybody else involved here, but understand that this is just the beginning of the Hip Hop Boulevard 5.
It's been 10 years, but it's an exciting day. I want to thank Curtis Blow and the legends that came out. It's amazing. We see it as just the beginning. We've launched this, and you're going to see a lot more of this. So I thank you again. Thank you.
So now do your research. Now correct it. Now talk to them and ask Vanessa Gibson, how is it that you're able to take credit for something and not include these people? Ask her. Write her. Call her. I guess she's on the internet. She's a councilwoman. Other than that, the whole hip-hop culture should know the truth. This is not fake news, okay? This is the real deal, the truth. And sometimes some people can't handle the truth.
All right, August 1973, Kool Herc threw a birthday party for his sister, and the rest is history. We're standing here at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the lobby, which is considered the birthplace of hip-hop for the planet. It's an honor to be able to stand here and know that, 10 years ago, I was able to make this happen and make the street naming a reality. So big shout out to all the people who were involved in making this happen. Big shout out to Jacob Morris and Al Pizarro and Curtis Blow and Tony Tone and everybody else who was involved in making this a reality. It's been a long journey. I'm not gonna get into the negativity of it, but the positive sign is we did it. Hip hop culture forever.
Get ready, get ready. Say get ready, cause here we come. Get ready, cause here we come. Get ready, cause here we come. We don't know what we doing right now. Check out now. We've been rocking. We've been rocking and a rolling, finger popping, street strolling from one jam to the next. And we've been swinging and a swinging, and rhymes swinging and a swinging, and finding out if the girls like sex. You like sex? And we've been hopping and a dipping, got to stopping and a tipping all the way that we do our thing. And we've been hooking and a breaking, getting bookings and a breaking, cause the show what we always bring. This your man, this together the captain. JTLG,